I get it. When you're thinking about splurging on a spotting scope, the first thing that pops into your head is, what if I end up with something that looks great on paper but turns out to be a disappointment in the field? I've been there, scrolling through specs, trying to picture myself out on the ridge or on the deck with a piece of glass that promises to bring the distant world into focus. Before you decide whether the Leupold Mark IV 1240 by 60mm is worth the price tag, let me walk you through the real-world experience so you can avoid a buyer's remorse. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the Mark IV isn't a toy you toss into a backpack for occasional use. It's built around a professional-grade optical system that Leupold markets as unmatched light transmission and resolution. In practice, that means you'll see more detail in low-light conditions than you would with a cheaper scope that relies on a simple multi-coat. The DiamondCoat 2-ion assist lens coating really shines when you're watching birds at dawn or scanning a meadow at dusk. The image stays bright and the colors stay true rather than turning into a washed-out haze. The inverted H32 reticle is a feature that's often spoken about in hunting circles. Because the crosshairs stay the same size regardless of magnification, you can estimate the size of a target at 12x and then crank up to 40x without having to mentally adjust the scale. For a hunter who's trying to judge a deer's distance before taking a shot, that consistency can be a real confidence booster. On the flip side, if you're more of a casual birdwatcher who just wants to enjoy the view, you might never use the reticle's full potential, and the extra complexity could feel unnecessary. Now, let's talk about the physical side of things. The magnesium housing keeps the scope surprisingly light for a 1240x instrument, but lightweight is a relative term. In my own testing, the body felt solid enough that I could hand it over to a friend without worrying about dents, yet it still required a sturdy tripod for anything above 30x. The higher you crank the magnification, the narrower the field of view becomes, and even the best anti-shake features can't completely eliminate wobble if you're holding it by hand. So, if you plan on using it for quick, handheld glances like scanning a shoreline while on a boat, you'll find the need for a tripod a bit of an inconvenience. Conversely, if you already own a good tripod or are happy to invest in one, you'll get a stable platform that lets the optics do the heavy lifting. Waterproof and fogproof claims are more than just marketing buzz for the Mark IV. I took the scope out on a rainy morning after a night's dew had settled on the lens, and the internal seals held up without a single condensation spot appearing inside the eyepiece. That reliability matters if you're out in the field where weather can change on a whim. It also means you can leave it in a vehicle for a few hours without worrying about the humidity causing internal fogging, something that saved me from having to wait for a scope to dry out before I could actually use it. One hidden trade-off you'll notice is the price. Leupold's reputation for premium optics comes with a premium price tag, and the Mark IV sits squarely in the high-end range of spotting scopes. If you're on a tight budget, you'll find other brands offering lower magnification ranges or fewer coating layers for considerably less. However, the value you're paying for is not just in the magnification range, it's in the combination of the DiamondCoat 2 coating, the sturdy magnesium body, and the consistency of the inverted reticle. For someone who needs that level of performance, think serious hunters, wildlife photographers, or even amateur astronomers who want to catch a glimpse of the moon's craters at 40x, the cost starts to make sense. So who should buy the Mark IV? If you spend any amount of time outdoors where precision matters, whether you're tracking game, identifying rare birds, or setting up a makeshift observatory for a meteor shower, this scope will give you the clarity and reliability you need. Its ability to stay bright in low light makes it especially appealing for early morning or late evening outings when many other scopes struggle. It also works well for professionals who need a reticle that stays true across a wide magnification span, such as range-finding guides or field researchers. Who should skip it? If you're looking for a casual, occasional use scope that you'll pop out for weekend hikes, you'll likely be better served by a lower magnification, more portable model that doesn't demand a tripod. The Mark IV's size and weight, while manageable, are not pocket-friendly, and the need for a stable mount can feel like overkill if you only need a quick glance at a distant ridge. Similarly, if you're primarily interested in stargazing, You might prefer a dedicated astronomy scope with larger objective lenses that gather more light than the 60mm aperture here.